Hey everyone, Hudson here. Welcome to the world of hot. Today I got another Power Rangers review for you. These are the new Power Rangers movie legacy figures. I'm so excited about these because I'm really hyped for the Power Rangers movie and I love the designs of the suits and I love the legacy figures. They're like the best Power Ranger figures that we've gotten, and they've released legacy figures for the Power Rangers movie. So we have all 5 Rangers plus Alpha 5. And the cool thing is you collect all 6 of these and you can build a Megazord and make the Power Rangers movie Megazord. Plus, I will also be showing you, in addition to that, this New York Comic Con exclusive Red Ranger as well for the movie. So this is like a metallic version of the Red Ranger. So this is from New York Comic Con last year, so it's pretty old. I've had this for quite a while, but I figured I would just review it alongside everything else so I can do a comparison. So first up, I want to show you guys the packaging, and then we'll get into the actual details of all these guys. So let's just start up here with the Yellow Ranger. So all the packaging is very much the same as how it is with the rest of the Legacy line, like your general Power Rangers logo right here, except now you have your Power Rangers movie logo here instead of whatever season, and you have the Ranger here, so in this case you have the movie Yellow Ranger. So it looks awesome, I love it. Build a Megazord, like I said, you can form the movie Megazord, Legacy Collection Yellow Ranger. So these are Toys R Us exclusive. So keep that in mind if you are trying to collect these legacy figures. The other legacy figures you can buy at multiple different stores, but the movie ones are Toys R Us exclusive and supposedly limited edition. So keep that in mind. Side of the box lets you see kind of inside of it, which is there, same with that. And then the back of the box. So this shows you how you can combine it and form the Power Rangers movie Megazord, and those are all the figures in the line right there. So we're going to take a look at that, obviously. So let's just kind of continue down the line here. We have the Legacy Collection Black Ranger. So there's the artwork right there. It looks really cool. I'm excited about it, definitely. So cannot wait for that. Same back of the packaging there, so not going to spend too much time on that. Then let's take a look at the Blue Ranger. Legacy Collection Blue Ranger. Again, I love the artwork that they used for the movie figures. I do love the movie suits, and they look great, and I'm so happy to have these legacy figures. I mean, the 5-inch figures looked great too, don't get me wrong, I love those. But it's still really cool to have these even more detailed versions of these Rangers right here as well. So, we have the Pink Ranger. So again, same style packaging, exclusive to Toys R Us, and each of the lightning bolts that you see on the packaging corresponds to the color Ranger as well, so it really makes the packaging kind of pop a little bit more, which is definitely really cool. And last but definitely not least, we have Jason the Red Ranger. Look at that. Cannot wait to open these guys up. And the 6th item in this wave here is Alpha 5. So they decided to just put the Red Ranger on the packaging here. So there's that. But you have Alpha 5, and he actually has the main piece of the Megazord. So the whole chest piece and the head and stuff. So he's crucial to forming the Megazord if you wanted to collect that. There he is right there. So it's Alpha's design, you know, like, it is odd, don't get me wrong, but I don't hate it like some people do. It's okay, and having seen it in little clips from the movie, in the trailers that we've gotten, it looks pretty interesting, so, you know, I'm going to kind of see how it is in the film. So, but I'm glad that we got something. Would have been cool to have a Legacy Rita Repulsa, so hopefully that comes eventually, but for now, this is what we got with all these Rangers. And then last but not least, I do also want to quickly show the New York Comic Con exclusive one. So if you want to get this, you're pretty much going to have to go on eBay and pay some high prices at this point, because it's long been released a while ago. So this, I love the packaging though. It's, you know, kind of black and white for the Ranger suit right here, but it looks epic. Like, that just looks awesome. Exclusive power coin included. I love this package. Like, look at that. That's just, looks incredible. Like, how can you look at that and not get hyped? That's just awesome. Really, really cool. So I dig that. But this is actually just a little slip that basically just kind of slides out. So you can slide out the actual packaging underneath. And then when you look at the actual packaging here, here's the Red Ranger. It's kind of similar, except the New York Comic Con one, which is actually limited edition, doesn't say it, and there's no Build a Megazord figure, it just had a power coin included, and they used a different promo image for the movie Red Ranger right there. The back of the box also just promoted the current figures that have been released and telling you how you could do a Build a Megazord line with those. So slightly different packaging a little bit, but still similar traditional style if you take off this special slipcover. So anyways, without further ado, let's get all these open. I've already opened this up, which is why it's missing. I have the figure right here, and it's awesome. So we'll take a look at that. So let's get these open and take a look. Alright, here we have the Power Rangers movie Legacy figures out of the packaging, and these things look awesome. I love these figures, so really cool. First thing that I want to do is show you their articulation, and then we'll get into the up-close details and all that good stuff. So they all have very similar articulation, so I'm just going to start with the Black Ranger right here. And essentially, the head rotates all the way around, and it can move up and down. So you do a full range, you know, at kind of opposing it how you want. This chest piece here does move up and down like so, and the entire body can rotate all the way around. The arm rotates around and fully horizontal. The elbow is double jointed, so you do have extra flexibility there, and the hand can rotate however which way. It's on a ball joint right there. So that is nice. So lots of articulation there. The legs, he can do the splits completely. Legs can move forward all the way and back a little bit at an angle. Then this piece here of the leg can rotate all the way around. He can bend at the knee, double joint as well, so extra flexibility there. And then the foot can also move forward and back, but also kind of like all around, like side to side kind of. So good amount of articulation that all these figures have. Real quick, I just want to show you the Yellow Ranger as well, because the female figures sometimes have different articulation, but in this case, as you'll see, the head rotates all the way around, chest piece moves there, body completely rotates around. You know, I'm just kind of going through the motions, and essentially it has the same articulation except for the elbow is a single joint. The knee is still double joints, but the elbow is only single joint. So that is one difference there. Otherwise, the foot can move forward and back, but it does not, well, it does that little twisting motion, but it's a little bit different slightly. At least it feels different. But otherwise, everything else is basically the same articulation, so that's great. They have a lot of articulation for the female Ranger figures, which is really cool. In the past, you've kind of had the same thing, like I have the In-Space Yellow Legacy figure, except the legs didn't have as much articulation because of the skirt. In this case, the movie figures don't have the skirt, so they're not hindered by that, but otherwise, you have the same articulation there, which is definitely pretty cool. So that is that. So let's actually take a look at, oh, actually, one more thing. Alpha, duh. So here is the Legacy Alpha 5 figure. So articulation-wise, the head rotates all the way around and up and down, so it's like on a ball joint, so you can tilt it and do whatever you want. The arms do rotate all the way around and horizontally, and he does bend at the elbow, and the hand rotates freely around as well. Then the legs can move, you know, forward and back. They can actually go all the way around like that. And he can bend at the knees. And then the foot also rotates all the way around and moves up and down a little bit as well. So good amount of articulation there. His hands are huge. Like his arms are really long. So it's just kind of freaky looking when you like really extend his hands out like that. It's like, that's kind of scary. but lots of articulation there, which is great. So let's take a look at the detail on all these figures, and then I'll show you Alpha as well, and then we'll get into all the other good stuff. So let's start on the left here. So we already kind of took a look at the Black Ranger, but let's look at him up close, and then we'll get to the Build-A-Figure stuff a little bit later as well. So the Black Ranger is going to be the one that's a little hardest to see because the design really just blends in with the suit as well. But they did a good job at all the different helmets. So, you know, the Mastodon-inspired helmet there certainly has that unique look to it, so that's pretty cool. All of them have this nice little blue that they used for the chest piece and all these other things around the sides there, which is definitely great. And they even colored the little power coin in there. You can't actually see any dinosaur or anything like that, but it's at least colored black, and all the other Rangers are colored appropriately as well. So that's certainly nice. And then you have a decent amount of silver going down the arms and legs as well. So that's certainly nice. And even on the back, you get some paint with some silver and the little blue dots going down there. And I love the little textured look that they give to parts of the suit as well. Really makes the design kind of stand out a little bit. So yeah, I mean, just the figures just look great. Really, really cool. Brief comparison with the 5-inch figure here. So I have the 5-inch version. And as you can see, I mean, the 5-inch version also looks great. Paint-wise, they're going to be very similar. Slight differences being in the helmet, you have a little bit of extra silver, whereas that's not painted on there. On the arms as well, there's no silver on the 5-inch figure, but it has paint there. And then on the legs, you have a little silver stripe and nothing else, versus here has a little bit more silver on the knee. And the power morpher around the power coin is colored that goldish color, and here you have it black, but there's no gold around the actual power coin there, as you can see. And this one has 2 lines of blue, 3 lines of blue there, and the back is not painted on the 5-inch figures. So for what they are for the 5-inch figures, they're great figures, don't get me wrong, and they all come with the little blast thing, whereas these guys don't come with any weapons at all except the Red Ranger. So keep that in mind. But articulation wise, you're going to get a little bit more with the legacy figures, and they are bigger, and they feel a little bit better quality, but the 5-inch figures are still pretty decent as well, don't get me wrong. So great figures, and you can really come up with some cool poses and great dynamic stuff that just looks awesome. So there's the Black Ranger. All right, here's the Yellow Ranger. Black and yellow, black and yellow. All right, there's the helmet design right there. Looks pretty good. The blue really just pops on these figures. I really love that the paint that they use there. You can see the yellow power coin on Trini, so that's pretty cool. And the silver just really looks nice as well. Nice contrast. The Black Ranger is like probably my least favorite design, just because a lot of the paint just kind of really blends in with the suit design in general, so you don't really get to appreciate some of it as much. You have the blue dots here. But on some of the other Rangers, the paint kind of really pops because of that color difference. So all in all, really cool. And then again, quick little comparison here with the Yellow Ranger 5-inch figure. Same kinds of differences, the little gold around the power coin, the lack of silver on the arms, and not as much on the legs. A little bits of silver missing on the top of the helmet there. So, similar. But they actually did use that same color, like blue paint, same color silver, pretty much the same colors. In fact, the exact same color yellow. So they really stuck to that as well. So that's really nice that you kind of have the exact same, like if I were to kind of like do that, like put it at a farther distance, they almost look like they're the same kind of thing, except obviously this one has more paint. But yeah, so anyways, enough of that. So we'll skip the Red Ranger, we'll come back to him. Let's look at the Pink Ranger here. You can really appreciate the helmet designs more when you can see them from all different angles, especially from the sides and the back. You can really see the unique designs that they all have. And on the legacy figures, the extra added bits of silver accenting the helmet there just really make it pop, which is great. I love the blue, great contrast to the pink there. You got the pink power coin. Just looks awesome. I love the paint. It really just kind of pops. More paint is always nice, don't get me wrong, but for what we got, it's still pretty good. So yeah. And then a little comparison, bring in the 5-inch version, and I'm not going to get too much in detail on it. You can kind of see for yourself the differences there. Especially with the helmet, the silver bits, and all that stuff. So, pretty good, but legacy figure is better. obviously you're paying more for it. So I would hope so. And then of course we have the Blue Ranger right here. You can see the Triceratops helmet design. Very interesting. The blue is also interesting because the rest of the blue is kind of lighter, so it really has an interesting contrast. And I love a blue and silver combination, so the silver on here just looks great with it. You got your blue power coin, kind of like a dark blue, but it's there. It's a shame that the guys have silver on the backs as in addition to the little light blue dots there, but the girls don't. They don't have the silver on the back, so it would have been nice if they would have gotten that extra bit of paint there. Assuming that's how it is in the actual movie. I'm not sure. Haven't really seen the backs of those suits too much. But yeah, again, just great figures, and you can really come up with some cool poses for all of them, you know? I kind of wish they all had like signature weapons, although the Legacy figures haven't come with weapons anyways, but that would have been really cool, because as is, it's got to figure out a way to display them that will look interesting. You know, the Red Ranger's easy because he has a power sword, but, you know, there's that. So, let's actually take a look at that. Let's look at the Red Ranger. So, Red Ranger right here. Really cool helmet design. The more I see of it, the more I really like it. It's definitely different, you know, definitely different, but you can really see how it's inspired by the T-Rex thing. And they're actually making a Legacy movie Red Ranger helmet as well, so I might get that because I think that would look really cool, especially next to the regular Mighty Morphin red helmet. That'd be really sweet. You got your red power coin right in there as well. Yeah, I mean, the blue just really pops on him too. Nice solid just red paint that they used overall. Great figure, just looks solid, you know, and you can really just come up with some cool poses and stuff, and just looks epic. And of course he has the power sword, so this thing does come off. Got some red, and then the rest is like this translucent blue, and it is, you know, soft and stuff, so it's not like super hard, but you'd have to be careful of it bending a little bit. And then he just kind of holds it like that, so looks pretty cool. So I love, like, you know, like that kind of image right there reminds me a lot of the back of the New York Comic Con one, except he's got the power sword and stuff. So like you can come up, if you're a good photographer, you can really come up with some cool pictures and everything with these figures too. Looks pretty epic, so I dig it. And then with the New York Comic Con version, so if you're willing to track it down on eBay, if you don't have it already, you have this New York Comic Con exclusive version. And this is very interesting. So it's the exact same mold in terms of articulation and everything, except they use this like translucent paint, as you can see. So very interesting. And to be honest, it actually looks kind of neat. In some aspects, I kind of like it a little bit better because it kind of just looks really interesting. But in some aspects, I can appreciate the solid colors a little bit more. The power sword is the same, except slightly darker red on there. But paint-wise, like, aside from the translucentness of it, same details in the paint and same articulation. But that's the New York Comic Con exclusive. So if you wanted to get a translucent version of the Red Ranger, then that's the only way that you can do that. And because this guy didn't come with the Movie Megazord figure, because it was just Comic Con exclusive and they only had the one Red Ranger, they packaged the Red Ranger's power coin with him. You can see the T-Rex in there. And it's the same power coin that you get if you buy the Power Rangers movie Morpher. So nothing different. It's the same one. You just, if you bought the movie Morpher, you now have another one. So there's that. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. And let's take a look at the detail on Alpha 5 up close as well. So very interesting. So the little, either, I don't know if those are eyes or antennas or whatever those are. I assume those are eyes, are really interesting. But yeah, you know, a decent amount of paint with the red all around it. And on the back as well too. I can always appreciate it when they give some paint to the back, because depending on how you pose it, you may see some of those parts of the figure, you know? So even from the side, that sort of thing, that extra added paint is certainly very appreciated. And there actually is a 5-inch Alpha 5 as well, so here it is for comparison, as you can see. So it has, the Legacy one has a little bit extra articulation, obviously, but and then paint-wise, you know, this has that extra green and this does not. It's also missing some red paint on the legs in the 5-inch version, and then the back does not have any red paint. So except for what bits you can see on the shoulder. So similar, you know, but obviously this one's better. Now, the only thing is, scale-wise, I feel like this Legacy Alpha 5 is a little, like, the arms, everything about it is just really big, you know? So if you kind of like, let's say you stand up the Red Ranger right here, right? So he's standing there, and you put Alpha 5, get him to stand, right next to him, like, it's kind of just scary looking, and it almost makes me feel like he should be attacking Alpha 5, because this is some creepy looking thing. The movie Alpha 5 is smaller, which makes him more adorable, you know? So I kind of think that the 5-inch version of Alpha 5 fits in much better with the Legacy figures in terms of scale. Like, don't you see the difference there? Like, this looks creepy compared to the Legacy figure. This guy kind of looks adorable compared to the Legacy figure. So if you're looking for scale, 5-inch Alpha with the Legacy Rangers, I think, is great. Paint and detail-wise, you know, the Alpha's cool, and you got to get it to get the Build-A-Figure collection anyways, but I would also pick up the 5-inch Alpha 5 if you want it better in scale, I think. All right, anyways, all that being said, you have all these figures now, right? So they all come with Build-A-Megazord pieces. So Alpha 5 comes with the main piece for the Movie Megazords. I'm going to combine it all, then we'll take a look at the detail there. Okay? So, we have the legs of the Megazord, and the Black Ranger comes with the right leg. So we're just going to attach it right there. The Blue Ranger comes with the left leg. Okay? The Yellow Ranger comes with the right arm. And the Red Ranger comes with the left arm. And then the Pink Ranger comes with the wings. So all together, you now have the Power Rangers Movie Megazord. And this thing actually looks really cool, I'm not gonna lie. You know, this movie design, I've had mixed feelings about. Like, I think it looks cool, but part of me also thinks it looks a little bit generic. Now, I don't mind the fact that it looks different from the original Movie Megazord. That, for a second, it took me a little bit of adjusting, but I think this design is kind of cool, but also a little bit generic. So I've had mixed feelings on it. The massive Movie Megazord that you can get and collect is not as accurate, like, compared to the movie. This is more movie accurate, and so is the whatever this thing is called. I forgot what it was called. The interactive version, you know, that's also more movie accurate. So for comparison's sake, you know, like, this is going to be similar in terms of what it looks like. The movie one that combines with all the Zords that you can buy separately and is massive, it's a lot more colorful, but from the glimpse that we saw in the trailer, that's not how it's actually going to be in the movie. So if you're truly looking for the most accurate Movie Megazord, ignoring all the transformation and all that stuff, but just detail-wise, this is it right here. You have to get the Build-A-Figure line to get this little guy. So all the paint, everything is going to be the most accurate to the movie so far, at least. So let's take a look at all of the detail on this figure. And it looks great. I think this is one of those figures that is worth collecting all 6 in the line to do the Build-A-Figure. I love the, you know, pink, the little bits of paint that they put in there and how it kind of accents into purple on the sides. That's kind of interesting. Same with the little chest piece. Like, it's blue, but little hints of purple all around it. It kind of gives it that, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like it's not a solid color, you know, so it makes it a little more dynamic. And the paint just really just pops in general. The red, the little bits of the lighter, you know, blue there, the yellow right there, looks great. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool overall. The little bits of blue in the legs right there. I mean, the arms, pretty cool. These little cannons right on there. the wings with the little bits of pink there. You know, if you look at the back, you even have some pink on there, and you can see some yellow and little hints of blue from the back as well. So detail-wise, it looks great, and I love the textured looks on it and everything too. Like, that just looks really cool. It just really just makes it pop, you know? So detail-wise, it looks great. Articulation-wise, these Build-A-Figures are actually really cool, and that's another thing that's great about them. The head, you know, can rotate all the way around. So you do have that. The wings are detachable because it came detached. So if you want to display without the wings, you could do that. The arms can then rotate all the way around, except obviously the wings are in the way, so it prevents that. But he does bend at the elbows. The hands do not rotate, but you do have that right there. The legs can move forward and back a little bit there. And he can't move apart too much because these little blaster things or whatever is there on the side kind of prevent it there. So a little bit of articulation, but not too much. Are bend at the knee. So you do have knee articulation. The feet do not move at all. So decent amount of articulation. The thing is, the feet are pretty massive as well. So you know, you really can't do like too many crazy poses because it's got to like balance. But this actually kind of, it balanced for a second there. So you could almost have some kind of a, that's actually kind of cool. If I can just get him to stand there, stay. Like you get a cool dynamic action pose, like he's moving forward about to punch, like he's punching Goldar, right? From the trailer. So really cool, because I love having a dynamic, you know, movie action figure Megazord thing, like flying around, doing a kick, and like you can really just, the kids can have a lot of fun with this. Collectors can really come up with a great display for this thing too. I mean, that's just awesome. You know, I love having that in a figure. I mean, that's huge. And just for comparison's sake, I don't have the full Mighty Morphin Megazord yet because they haven't all released all the figures yet, but I have the black and gold one from Power Morphicon. So you can really compare the two classic designs side by side. Now, obviously, drastic differences. These are like nothing alike, as you can obviously see. Now, paint is going to be totally off right now because it's the black and gold version. Totally different Megazords. Totally different. But I love the fact that we have both of them in the same scale, just like this, which is great. And not only that, I mean, you can have other Megazords in the same scale too, right? I mean, we have the one from Ninja Storm, you know, and then there's other Megazords that you'll soon be able to make as you collect more Legacy figures. So I love having all these things in the same scale. That is just fantastic to me, and I think that's just really cool to be able to collect, you know? So overall, you know, these Legacy figures are awesome. I really think they're great figures to pick up, and worth getting the entire set. For comparison's sake, I do like how the Megazord is a little bit taller than the Red Ranger there too, so it kind of gives it that bigger scale, which makes it look even better. So really cool figures, and I dig them a lot. So I highly recommend the Legacy figures. My favorite part of the toy line are the Power Ranger figures. And my favorite versions of the Power Ranger figures are the Legacy figures because they are by far the best in terms of paint, articulation, quality. That's not to say they don't have issues. I have a list of issues with the Legacy figures, but that's for a whole, you know, different time. The point is, for the most part, and especially these movie ones, I really love them, and I think they're great, and I highly recommend them. So definitely check your local Toys R Us and try and pick these up when you get the chance, because I think these are a great set of action figures for any Power Rangers fan to own. So, hope you guys enjoyed my review. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. The Power Rangers movie is fast approaching, and I do mean fast approaching. I am so excited, and I cannot wait for this movie. It looks great, and it's gonna be so cool. So I cannot wait to watch the movie. If you guys enjoyed this review and want to see more Power Rangers movie reviews or just Power Ranger reviews in general, please share this video. Please subscribe, because I do have so many more reviews on the way, and I'm so excited about all this great stuff that's been coming from Bandai lately. And at New York Toy Fair recently, they revealed a whole bunch of other really cool stuff that's coming. So I'm so excited about everything happening for this franchise, and it's a great time to be a Power Rangers fan, definitely. So hit that subscribe button and buckle down, get ready. We're in for a wild ride. It's about to get wild, as Tyler from Dino Charge said. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.